Hello students, today in your strength of materials class, I shall cover a new chapter, or you can say it's a new part, new topic of a stress strain chapter. Okay, it's a topic, just a simple topic. The topic is the principle of superposition. So line by line we'll go through. A body sometimes is subjected to a number of forces acting on the outer edge as well as the some other sections along the length of the body. In such a case, the forces are split up and their effects are considered on individual section. So the resulting deformation of the individual section, such a principle to find out the resultant deformation is called the principle of the superposition. That means when a body is subjected to several loads at several sections, at different sections, okay. Now, you can assume that the length of this particular section are different and the working load are also different. So, due to this particular load or due to this each load, the deflection of the or the deformation of the each section will be different, but ultimately at the end the body is the integral part of the all sections. So that means when each section is deformed, that will affect the deformation of the whole body. Now deformation of the whole body is basically summation of the deformation of every individual section due to the every individual load acting on those sections. So here we can see del L is nothing but del of L1 plus del of L2. Del L is the deformation of the whole body. Now del L1 is the deformation of section 1. L2, del L2 is the deformation of section 2. Del L3 is the deformation of section 3. That means total deformation of the body is equal to the summation of the deformation of the each section. So we can say del L, that means PL by AE, where L is the length of the total body and P is the load, total load acting on the particular body. So PL by AE equal to, we can say P1L1 by AE plus P2L2 by AE plus P3L3 by AE. As the material remains constant, as the material, it is not a composite section, okay, it's a simple section, but its material is same, whether it is cast iron, whether steel, whether bronze, material is same for throughout the length of the body. That means modulus of elasticity remains constant, and also we can assume the cross section of the whole part of the body is constant. That means you can assume the cross section of the every individual section will be same. So that is why A is the same. So what will be the difference? So difference is the force or the load and the length. So that is why PL by AE equal to P1L1 by AE plus P2L2 by AE plus PNLN by AE, if total are n number of sections are there. So that means we common 1 by AE. So P1L1 plus P2L3 dot dot PNLN. So P1 is the force acting on section 1. L1 is the length of section 1. So P2L2, P3L3 is the corresponding value of section 2 and section 3 respectively, on and so on. Now there is a mathematical example, okay. So here in this numerical we can see, so this is the particular body, or you can say this is a particular length, steel bar. So total length is the 800 millimeter, okay. So here you can see a 50 kilonewton force acting towards left side, and at the point C you can see at the point C there is a load of 30 kilonewton acting towards the right side, and at point B you can see the load of 20 kilonewton is acting towards the right side. So AB is the section, BC is the section. Now what is our observation? So we can split this total bar into two different segments. One segment is the AB, another segment is the AC. Now we'll balance those forces so that we can find out the deformation at each section. So here we see for the section AB, so there is a load of 50 kilonewton. So at point A there is a left hand side, there is a load which is acting at the left side. Total amount of force is 50 kilonewton. Now we'll take is 20 kilonewton. Here we can say 20 kilonewton. That means for the AB part there is a tensile stress. So load will be two types, or stress will be two types, whether it is a tensile stress or it will be a compressive stress. So we'll balance those forces in such a way that for every section there is either a tensile stress or a compressive stress. So here in the section AB, at point A there is a 20 kilonewton of tensile, B at the point B 20 kilonewton of tensile. That means A, B both are balanced. As total tensile stress we get the 20 kilonewton here. Now as I have already taken 20 kilonewton at point A, so rest amount of forces, that means 50 minus 20, that is 30. So 30 kilonewton is the rest amount of forces that will be acting at the point A. So this force will be considered for the second segment, that means AC. So there is 30 kilonewton. So here also there is a 30 kilonewton. That means for AC segment also we notice that there is a tensile stress. So the total load as per the given for numerical example, the question paper. So total load had been balanced. So there is a 50. Here we see this is 20, this is 30. So you should split those total length of the bar in such a way that the total force shall be either tensile or compressive, and it must match the total amount of stress that is actually given in your question. So we have split up this case. So del L equal to P1L1 by A, P2L2 by A. Now P1, what is the P1? P1 is the force acting on the section 1. So 20 kilonewton, 20 into 10 cube. L1, what is L1? Is the 300 millimeter length. Now similarly P2 is the force of 30 kilonewton and length is the 800 millimeter. Now put all those value, we will get the value of del L. So del L is the deformation of the total bar. Okay. Now this is a type of example. This is very interesting and very easy. Now example 2. Here we see one is 100 kilonewton, another one is 30 kilonewton, but direction of 100 kilonewton is towards left side and direction of 30 kilonewton force at point D is towards left side also. Okay, so we'll split all those forces in such a way that for each section, whether it will be tensile stress or it will be a compressive stress. Now this is the question model. So we'll segment the total bar into, we'll split the total bar into three segments. One is AB, one is AC and CD. So AB where you see 80 and there is 80. So the AB part is balanced because at the A part is also 80, B part is also 80 kilonewton. But the nature of the load is the tensile load. So as 80 I have already taken, so rest amount of load will be 20. So we will take the value of 20. And at the point C, you notice that there is a load of 50. So 50 will split in 20 plus 30. So here is a 20 kilonewton. That means AC is also balanced and the nature of the load is tensile. Now at the point CD, so here you see at the point C there is a load of 50 total. So as we have already taken 20, so rest amount of force will be 30. But also notice the direction of the force. Okay, so from point C, the 50 kilonewton is force is going out of the section, going out towards the right side. So at point C we get the value of 20 kilonewton. It is going out, going towards the right side. Here also the direction is such a chosen that it is also going towards right side. That means here is 20, here is 30. So also notice the direction. So here is also 30, here is 30. So ultimately we have split up the total length of the bar into 3 segments. All 3 segments are balanced, and whether in the segment 1 and segment 2 there is a tensile stress, and segment 3 we notice is a compressive stress. So del L equal to P1L1 by A, P2L2 by A, P3L3 by A. Now we'll put all those values. Now one thing very much important to note is that for the tensile stress we'll take the positive sign, for the compressive stress here we'll take the negative sign. Okay, so that is why for the segment 3 we have taken the negative sign, as the load on the section CD is the compressive load. Okay, so for tensile load we'll take the positive sign, and for the compressive load we'll take the negative sign. Now put all those values, we'll get the final value of del L. So del L is the total deflection of the on the bar. Okay, so this are the two fundamental ideas how to solve those superposition principle problems. Now based on this fundamental principle, there are several numericals are there in your textbook. You can practice, and for the benefit of your learning and understanding, I have given you one assignment to solve, and use that principle of superposition fundamental ideas to solve that numerical. Okay, this is very conceptual and very much easy. Thank you.